I think I clicked on everything but the stuff I had to click on to actually to move on. Hello and welcome to Retro Game Connect. I'm Dan Mastriani.
And I'm Ian Butterfield.
And today, Hideo Kojima brings you Lethal Weapon in Space. Because we're playing Policenauts for Sega Saturn.
Why does none of that sentence actually surprise me?
This is a man who says he's like
Hideo
made up
Kojima,
of 80% movies.
Yeah, just, Hideo Kojima, buddy cop, space. Done. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
I guess so.
That's what we're doing.
All right, let's just get into this.
Go.
Whoop.
All right, so quick, I should mention, there are some flashing images at the start of this. So anybody has epilepsy might want to look away.
Well, I'm sure we'll also have dropped a warning at the beginning of the episode, I'm sure.
I'm probably not going to bother just because it's very, very brief. So really, just, wait till we get to the title screen, you'll be fine. But just the sequence here in the opening, you'll see there's
do 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 do.
I don't know if these flashing images are actually like a potential trigger, but just to be safe.
No, but I feel like a few of our viewers might have had an acid trip like this once or twice.
Yeah. But I think from here it's pretty much over, so it is safe to look back at your screen.
Fall asleep with the Sci-Fi channel on once after a long night in town.
Yeah. Policenauts. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start a new game. I've been playing a little just for fun, and I'm on the second disc though, so we want to. And of course, in case it wasn't obvious, we are playing the fan translation. So it will be conveniently
interesting.
Yeah, it'll be in English for us.
So this was partly inspired wait, what?
Yeah, it's funny. So you remember
years...
when they launched a fully operational space colony in 2010, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was that Elon guy.
Yeah.
Elon Spangler.
Yeah, there you go. But I guess this actually had subtitles to start. So it originally came out on the Japanese PC98 series computers, one of the later models in the PC98 series. And Kojima actually got a letter from a fan that was hard of hearing. Was kind of like lamenting the fact that now the games are moving to the CD era. A lot of games were doing audio instead of text because they were thinking, oh, we got voices now. We don't need to write out everything the characters are saying.
And yet in 2022, Pokemon games still don't have talking protagonists.
They don't. But he was like,
Legends Arceus, the character does make noises.
But since the guy was hard of hearing, he's feeling left out because it's like all of a sudden now all the dialogue is voiced, and there's nothing to read, so he doesn't have any idea what's being said. So Kojima was like, well, for later versions, he decided to put in subtitles for all the sequences for accessibility purposes. Which was a cool thing of him to do, because he was saying how he didn't actually want to have subtitles because it kind of messed with the cinematic feel, but he felt he had to put play experience first.
I mean, weirdly for video games, I turn subtitles on a lot, but also watching TV shows and stuff, I prefer them off, depending on the show. Because like
Yeah,
I watch
same.
Letterkenny, and sometimes you want the subtitles on for those fast talking Canadians.
Yeah, so like, I mean, obviously if it's in another language, I'll turn on the subtitles, but I prefer to watch, like stuff in its original language with subtitles. But for some reason, for video games, I have a harder time like focusing on the dialogue. Probably because like I'm playing the game, so I'm splitting my focus. So
Funny
I'll
enough,
have
I
to
think
have
for
subtitles
me,
on.
I think it depends on how important the story is to me.
Yeah,
Especially if it's on a like second playthrough, something like if I'm playing Just Cause. Honestly, I really don't care about the story of Just Cause. I'm usually watching YouTube videos or something while I play
yeah,
it because I'm just playing that kind of game just to have fun. But I put the subtitles on because I can read the lines faster than the voice actors will say them.
yeah.
So I will just okay, I got the gist and we're going. Like, not to say I can't enjoy stories of games that I don't care about the stories about, but just different ways to enjoy games.
Yeah, so I just wanted to part of the reason I wanted to bring that up is just I mean, one, it's a cool anecdote, but also because that's why we're able to get these English credits and we're able to get subtitles on all the cutscenes, is that they were able to hook into the existing subtitle engine for the fan translation.
Nice.
Which meant they didn't have to worry about re-encoding any of the video, which is already kind of fuzzy. I don't know, what kind of quality you're getting via Parsec, but
Decent.
yeah, it's not amazing, though. They did bump up the frame rate. So the PlayStation version, the PlayStation has built-in MPEG decoding, so it can get better video quality for pre-rendered videos, full motion video, that kind of thing.
I mean, listen, what I'm looking at right now, I could have seen on Toonami in the early 2000s.
You could have, because
I'm okay with that.
The production studio is AIC, and there was at least one show animated by AIC on Toonami.
Wait, which show?
Tenchi Muyo was on Toonami. That's
okay, I don't know that.
But it was on Toonami, so it's something you could have seen.
I mean, I mostly only watch Dragon Ball Z on Toonami, but I have like a weird little like nostalgia like for Toonami, just the existence of it. Partially also because in that one Sly Cooper game, you could get a Toonami biplane, and it was like the best biplane in the game. You could only get it by entering a code.
Yeah, they quite a few interesting things. But trying to, what was I talking about? I got distracted here. I don't know. So, but yeah, we got the AIC did these animation, and of course they're a major studio in Japan, so it's cool that they were able to get them to work on this. Other stuff they worked on, they did Bubblegum Crisis, which is a pretty popular 80s series. Well, it was direct-to-video, but it's something that was popular with 90s anime fans. I know I've watched Bubblegum Crisis, which actually you could thematically link it to Kojima's work, because his previous adventure game, Snatcher, is let's see, heavily inspired by Blade Runner, and so is Bubblegum Crisis. So we gotta wait for our client to show up.
Video phone built-in printer.
Yep.
Yeah, that feels Blade Runner.
Yeah. So we gotta, can I? Here we go. Play the messages. See if you get anything interesting. That's fine. There's all kinds of weird. I don't actually want to spend time looking at this, but one of the new features for the Saturn version is you can press the C button to bring up a glossary with all the terms you can look up. quite a lot of text here. I'm actually curious. I noticed in Snatcher you could actually look up. No, he didn't do that for this one. In Snatcher's, he actually had to go to the computer terminal, but there was you could actually look up Kojima. So that's
does like to be rather meta.
Yeah. Yeah, we got various important pictures. I think if I found the right one, it actually has some voice dialogue. So in case people weren't paying attention, basically, Jonathan Ingram's a man out of time because he was spent 25 years frozen in a survival ball after an accident, which may not have been an accident.
Dun, dun,
Doing
dun.
a spacewalk. Yeah, but this should be relevant. His wife Lorraine. Oh, we get the theme.
Yeah, I mean, 25 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's kind of lost touch with all his friends. But the theme, they actually brought back some of that in. You can look at the things to get like more information about it. Is in Metal Gear. So even if people haven't played Policenauts, which it never came out in the U.S., you can still kind of you might recognize the music. So, but all this sci-fi stuff is explained in the glossary if you want to spend the time reading it. But we just gotta mess around, get some background information. Normally, you'd sit down and actually spend the time reading this.
Yeah, how do we move the story along?
I just
Kind
have
of been
to
looking at the same stuff.
look at stuff until somebody shows up. I have to look at enough stuff until we get our client.
Bonafide recoil gun? What?
Yes. Okay. Well, would you like to read the article on recoil guns? Here it is, right here. It tells you it fires powder cartridges. It's like a normal today's gun. But see, on space colonies, people use lift guns, which are basically like rockets in gun form. It's wild.
Oh, yeah, you're scrolling past stuff real quick. I'm trying to.
Yeah, so you see he explains it how it looks like a missile.
Explosion.
Yeah, so like you're basically firing guided missiles.
Fascinating, because I would think more on the railgun side of things, where you magnetically like throw something. But the fact that they call it a recoil gun is just funny to me, because if you were to change that, I mean, yeah, because that's just referred to as a semi-automatic. That the gas blowback loads the next bullet into the chamber.
Well, they say that because they have new guns for using them on colonies.
Well, yeah, no, that's kind of neat.
Yeah. Uh-oh. So you can see how well he's doing. I mean, if you want to try to pull out some of the facts I got on this while I'm trying to do enough stuff to get the client to show up. I don't want to spoil who that is.
Apparently, production was delayed, so this actually was coming out late in the console generation it was in.
Yeah, so I guess he actually started it while Snatcher was still in vet. It kind of started doing the what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh, it has light gun support? That's neat. Oh my god, wait, you can actually do things in this game besides click on a desk?
Yes. I unfortunately don't have a light gun, but
listen, this is one of the reasons that I get people like Kojima games. Like, I'm not saying they're bad, but this is why I can't do them. I would have already shut this game off by now. Like, this is okay, there's some cool stuff, but like, hey, let's where's the plot? Come on.
It's gonna be there in a bit.
I mean, I know I've discussed that like a game kind of needs a hook before, for me at least. But again, where's the hook? Where is what's keeping me going?
Well, there's a lot of world building going on right now.
Well, yes, but I like world building when it's interesting. just clicking on something and reading it while on a static screen isn't interesting to me. Especially when that's your introduction. I know people like it, just not for me. Interesting that the Saturn version is like the definitive version, though.
Yep, it was the last one out. So actually, so for the 3DO and PlayStation versions, they each had like additional discs that you could buy separately that had like behind the scenes stuff. And the Saturn version actually incorporates that, which is why the Saturn version is 3 discs as opposed to 2 discs like the previous console versions. I can't think of anything else I haven't clicked on. Yeah, here you go. This might be it. Maybe because I didn't find the right picture where he did the thing talking about it. There he is. Yeah, I missed a trigger. I had to find that photo of Ed.
I'm pretty sure I'm late at this point. That was a frustrating opening.
I think I clicked on everything.
Playing it.
I think I clicked on everything but the stuff I had to click on to actually to move on. But yes, this is why it's important that we looked at those photos. Because it's his ex-wife.
Great, I thought you were dead. Fun thing about this, though, is for the reasons that Kojima wanted to do adventure games was that, you know, he's not a programmer. With his previous games, he basically had to like rely on other people to implement things in the game for him. So he'd be like, you know, describing what he wanted, but it would never be exactly what he wanted because, you know, people are gonna like implement the things like the way that makes sense to them. Okay, I have a question though. The random changes in lighting and color, is that on purpose or is that just like the fact that this is a fan translation?
No, there's like a neon light outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Think you might have to click on her.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Let's we can look at it, but we're gonna go ahead and talk because we gotta get through all this dialogue here.
Yep.
Because I'm sure you want to see somebody get shot.
We're 20 minutes in and we haven't done anything.
Unfortunately, I didn't know the exact things I had to click on to get her to show up. When I was playing it just for fun, I managed to like not click on everything in his office. Because I guess I did the right things first. Like I never actually got to listen to any of the messages on this answering machine. She showed up before I did it. So I just want to go through all of this stuff here until she stops saying new things. So, you know, a lot of this stuff is all going to be relevant later. We'll actually listen to the voice dialogue. Of course, all the stuff with the asterisk is stuff you can look up in the glossary.
Oh, that's a neat little feature.
Yeah. So I believe the glossary is in previous versions of the games. You just have to go to a particular location to access it. Whereas in the Saturn version, it's accessible at any time. One thing I will say I didn't really dig here is I understand like her face is supposed to be in shadow, but I don't think it really looks good.
Oh no, it looks terrible.
Yeah. Like in some of the other shots, it looks okay. But in this shot, it just looks like a different head is based on her body. That's about a marriage, blah blah blah. He apologizes for marrying somebody else and not waiting for her.
I mean, it was 25 years. Like,
yeah,
that's,
no, that's
that, you know what? In that position, would I be like hurt? Yeah, that would really suck. But honestly, like, I ain't gonna blame them. They thought they were dead for 25 years.
Yeah, pretty much. The problem was, like, they didn't even know he was alive.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna get some more useful stuff.
Like, hard to blame someone at that point.
Yeah. So once we get to the space colony, we'll be able to get this stuff analyzed.
Blast off.
Yeah. She trusts me more than the police. Dun dun dun. Another. Dun dun dun. Yeah, he's got nothing. Spends a minute thinking about it, and he's like, "No, I got nothing." All right. So that dialogue is gone. I think he literally asked what kind of medicine they were. But, you gotta have to, in translation, you gotta, if you're too literal, then it comes out really stilted. Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
Looks like a piece of mint.
There you go. He was stressed out. He needs something refreshing.
Just chewed some gum.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you hear what happened to Pluto? That's messed up, right?
Right. More than meets the eye.
Okay, so we smoothly did this. So we're not going to spend too long in talking to her. Would you like to accept or decline the case again?
Not going to spend too much time talking to her. Let's accept the case. Would you like to accept or decline the case, Ian? Accept the case. No, decline the case and the game's over.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. No, there's you can spend more time talking to her. There's a bunch of other stuff. You can show her the photo. You can show her the stuff that she just gave to you. See, like, it looks a little better here in this close-up. Like the original PC 98 version, which was all stuff like this. It didn't have any of the anime sequences. Those were new for the 3DO version. That's what I was talking about. So the PS1 version had much better compression. Wasn't as fuzzy as 3DO or Saturn versions. But they dropped it to 15 frames per second. So the Saturn version bumps it back up to 24 frames a second. Which, of course, is the frame rate of a major motion picture. So I'm sure that was a big deal to Kojima. That's okay, you know, plot's happening now.
Sure are staring at each other.
Yep.
I think she finally left.
Yeah, well, you know, it's for him, it was barely any time at all.
Oh, yeah, but like,
That's why.
lots of process, but realistically, what are you gonna do?
Things are happening now. See, she's going to her car.
Now it's gonna blow up when she starts it.
Yeah, of course it is. Actually, I don't think she doesn't even get in the car. It's anime shack baser. Like, uh-oh.
Don't look suspicious.
No. I don't see why anyone would be at all suspicious of the man in the leather outfit.
The mask.
Yeah. No, I mean that's everyday attire, right? All right, shooting sequence. So fortunately, this has an auto lock. Otherwise, it would be terrible. Ah, come on. So, I mean, you definitely don't want to have to try and aim this entirely with the D-pad. So, where has he gone, Ian?
I don't know, left of the speed things king sign. Hey!
Yeah, the first time I played this, it actually took me a second to find his feet.
Oh, I didn't even look at his feet. I just guessed.
Yeah.
I just looked at that and was like, where do I think he would pop up? Now I'm guessing the mailbox. Oh no, he ran down the alley.
Yeah, you can see his feet under the sign, but it took me a second. So you can actually look at this stuff.
I couldn't see.
But
yeah, but
we're not gonna.
But we can.
Right,
let's just chase it. We're literally at 30 minutes, having done two things.
We'll chase him down, and then we'll stop. I wanted to know if you wanted to. There's a little bit more shooting.
No, just follow the obvious android blood he left.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like he might have gotten a little alien in here too. Dun. So I just gotta look at enough stuff that it'll let me move further in here. Actually, can I just yes. Cool. Yeah, no, there's gonna be a content warning on this episode, by the way. Yeah. So we just gotta look at some stuff.
Oh, good. More looking at stuff. Yeah, he's probably in the dumpster.
Well. Dun. Is that what you think?
I mean, that seems like the obvious choice here.
Well, maybe it's a red herring.
Yeah, but he also might be hiding there because if he tries to go into the doors, he can pop up behind you and shoot you.
Blood yet?
Double back.
Here we go. I looked at enough stuff. This is just a rat. He was in the door. Ah, that's the button. The downside of having the analog triggers. and take a little longer to press. Here we go.
Yeah, he's an android. Like, you haven't picked that up yet? Come on.
Yeah, you think that, but all right, well, that's the end of the shooting, so I just gotta look at enough stuff to get the next cutscene, and then we'll that'll be a good place to stop. I don't know if this was always in English or if they changed it for the fan translation.
Well, they do have English names.
They do.
And this does take place in America, doesn't it?
Yeah, right now we are in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a little trouble with this first time I played it because I was clicking on the stuff and it wouldn't do anything. So hopefully it's not going to be too picky with me. This was the part I didn't like. Yeah, the Office I didn't mind because, when I was playing it myself, I had time to sit there and look at all the stuff.
Yeah, see, even playing it by myself, I would find this boring. I'd be like, okay, where am I supposed to go? Come on.
I mean, I think we've established that you
I love exploration, but like, I also appreciate when a game respects my time.
you're quite impatient.
I mean, that being said, I put over 100 hours into Legends Arceus before I even faced Arceus, but that's because it was just so fun.
There we go. Had to find all the hot spots. So speaking of things that were important later, you see that he is bleeding from his forearm. So we got a dramatic sequence here. This old-fashioned recoil gun. Does that say purple carpet?
Yep.
Yeah. Huh. Well, I guess purple was considered royal back in the day. I don't know. No, we don't need to save. Because I got my own game to pick up.
No, this is the kind of game that makes me fidget.
Yep, been there, done that. Dramatically dies in his arms. Yep. So, this is pretty much where the first disc. This is most of the first disc actually, because they used that space for the bonus videos. So once you finish the game, you can put the first disc back in and play some behind the scenes stuff and interviews and such. But as a result, the first disc is actually really short. So there's like another sequence here, which we're not going to bother to play, and you move on to disc 2. But hey, before I shut it off, did you notice his hand?
Oh, what, with the wrist wrap?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's the guy he shot at.
Yep. Yep. You're just sitting right next to him.
We've all been there.
That's fun. But yeah, played by the late Kaneto Shiozawa. Oh, there we go. We'll stop there. Okay, so when playing that on my own, where I have time to be just go around and poke around at stuff, I've been enjoying it. I don't know. I played it a little bit for fun before this because I never got to play Policenauts, and like Snatcher is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, admittedly, if I was just playing it like this, I don't think I'd have gotten to the shooting section. Because even if like I sat with a walkthrough to do it, I'd be like, I need to sit with a walkthrough to make any progression. I don't think I want this. Like, I understand people like this, but it is just not my kind of game. I spaced right out on that.
Yeah, so you definitely have to enjoy reading because there is a lot of information there.
Well, and for me, it's not that I don't enjoy reading. It's just that it says, hey, invest all of your time into this thing all at once, like right now. And I just, like, give me a long, lots of reading Star Wars game, awesome, because I'm already invested in Star Wars. But this doesn't feel like it. I didn't feel invested enough to care.
So like I actually playing it by myself, spent time like looking at it. It took me an hour to finish the really short first disc because I was going. I actually sat down and was looking at the glossary and reading up on all the technology that Kojima extrapolated.
Yeah, see, that's just that my executive dysfunction sees that and is just like, nope. Like, I kid you not, there was a recent Pokemon Go event for Johto Day. They do a big event every February. Okay. And, like, I did some of it, but they included so much in it that I did, like, half of it and was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm bored. There's too much to do. I got other things to do.
Yeah, you clearly live a harried lifestyle, yeah.
Honestly, have no idea right now.
Yeah, so I actually kind of dig it though. I mean, like the video is kind of not amazing, but I mean, it was clearly done professionally. It's just it'd be nice to get it in a form where it didn't have to be compressed to run on a system that wasn't great at FMV.
I already kind of think this story would have been a better TV show.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't have been terrible if like they kind of took the stuff they already had and filled it in with like stuff like abbreviating the investigating.
Well, like
interesting, like direct-to-video thing.
Just the pacing, pacing just.
Yeah, so I mean, part of that is like again, Kojima wanted complete control, so they actually had the programmers make up like a scripting system for him, and he wrote all the dialogue and timed everything, and got to pour all his little idiosyncrasies and obsessions and.
Listen, and I appreciate that there are game makers out there that do that kind of thing, and I like that people like that. I played on my own one Hideo Kojima game. It was Metal Gear Solid 5. I had never finished it because I got it for free, but I played around with it a bit, had fun, but I gotta say, still didn't get all that invested in the story.
Yeah, so I think
you just have to like that style of thing, and I just don't.
Part of that is he really gets into some stuff. I remember so I actually had a demo of Peace Walker on PSP, and that's like the first time I played a Metal Gear demo and something terrible didn't happen that put me off the game. I think we went into how I managed to completely mess up getting into that vent at the beginning of Metal Gear Solid in the demo. And like the instructions don't tell you that snapping necks is you have to be standing still, so I kept like judo flipping guys instead and being like, why can't I kill them? Oh god, they're coming after me and getting right up and shoot after I flip them and shooting me. And I just had a terrible experience because I was playing the game wrong and I didn't realize it because I didn't have instructions. But Peace Walker actually went well. I had a fun time. I was like, you know what? This game is pretty cool. I played the demo a bunch. I'm going to get the HD version on it, 360, because I managed to save up some Microsoft credit. And I managed to like just completely burn myself out by deciding to sit down and listen to a bunch of the cassette tapes with like background information, and I just like, oh my god, it just keeps going. So that kind of killed my momentum, and I ended up barely playing it. But like mechanically, the game was great, and like like mechanically, this is a pretty standard adventure game. It was in part inspired by the Portopia serial murder case, or whatever the correct English translation for the name of the game is, which was like a really popular, influential adventure game created by Yuji Horii, who would go on to use some of the stuff that they invented for like the Famicom version of that game to create Dragon Quest. So like a lot of the things they did to simplify the Protopia serial murder case to work on a home console, because it played more like a text adventure on the original PC version, and like they came up with a bunch like menu interface to make it work when you just had a controller, and they kind of took that and like, well, we can also use this to simplify PC RPGs, and that's how you got Dragon Quest. But that game sold gangbusters, so like for a while everybody was making games like that, and that kind of influenced the design of games like Snatcher and this game. So Kojima basically got to do whatever he wanted on this and Snatcher, and he got to get that out of his system, because of course, after that he would go on to do stuff like Metal Gear Solid, which is not something you can make by yourself. You have to be able to be like, okay, I have to delegate, because that like a game like that. I mean, we played Metal Gear Solid. It's way too complex for him to just control everything. But actually, part of that came from this game, where like he made the original PC version, almost like doing as much of it by himself as he could, and like I don't know why this guy's name is I think it's Yoji Shinkawa. Where is it? It's in my notes. Yes, Yoji Shinkawa. So he's very well known for his art style influencing Metal Gear Solid. You've probably seen like the character illustrations with like that kind of sketchy look, like the if you know. Okay, well, you've probably seen Yoji Shinkawa's art.
You just said characters that have a sketchy look. I know a lot of characters that have sketchy looks.
Like the art style. It's like this.
That doesn't help.
Well, it's wildly. You're not into Metal Gear, so maybe you haven't seen it. But people who are into Metal Gear,
the art style of the Metal Gear,
art.
the Metal Gear artwork.
Yes, like the 2D art.
Yeah, no, I've seen that.
So that's Yoji Shinkawa's work. He actually joined Konami while Kojima was finishing up the PC-98 version of Policenauts, and apparently like Kojima was like, hey, why don't you take a look at this? Do some bug checking. Just give me an idea what you think of Policenauts. And apparently Shinkawa like hated the design of like these armored spacesuits that the police on the on the space colony used. And he was like, "Oh man, we gotta change these designs. These are terrible." So like for like later versions of the game, Shinkawa actually was like going in with Kojima and like revising parts of the game. So I guess that's kind of how their partnership started, and with him actually coming out and being like, "Into Kojima, man, we gotta change this stuff." So that's amusing. I mean, I think it's an interesting game. Unlike Snatcher, it's not stupid expensive, and if you have the means to play non-original discs on either PlayStation 1 or Saturn, you can run the fans translation. You can hey, discs don't cost too much. You can get yourself a nice original copy, so you can have like the nice original manual. Look, like it even has the spine card. People in Japan are super careful with this stuff. So you got your manual with like, look at these character introductions. This is nice stuff to have on hand. And you can apply the patch yourself to your own rips of the disc and play it on your real hardware or an emulator or what have you. And see what these games were like that we didn't really get to experience in the US. Because we never got Policenauts, and Snatcher sold terribly, and it's now like $3,000. I wish that was a joke. It's definitely over $1,000.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm hoping someone will reprint it or something. I'm like I know Konami is terrible now, but can you like just, I don't know, throw Snatcher in an emulator? Like, you guys have worked with
Put it on
before.
Steam, you know.
Yeah, put it on Steam, put it on Switch, whatever. That'd be great. I can play it on my Switch, take it when I'm sitting around, got nothing better to do, and play Snatcher. Like, come on, Konami. Like, I know they're not going to bother to translate Policenauts, even though, like, the nice thing to do would be put both of those in a double pack. They'll probably charge you $20 for Snatcher, but screw it, I'll pay it. It's a lot better than what original copy costs.
Yep.
Please, instead of, like, terrible Castlevania NFTs.
Yep.
Anyhow, so if you enjoyed us getting through the dialogue as fast as we could, so you could shoot some people, make sure you give this episode a like. You want to catch future episodes in which we don't have to talk to people before we can shoot them. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. I've been Dan Mastriani. You can catch me on Twitter at NewTypeCola.
I'm Ian Butterfield. You can find me on Twitter at IanG Butterfield. You can find the show at RetroGameCNCT, Facebook.com/RetroGameConnect, and RetroGameConnect.tumblr.com. You can also find me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/geek_lord_42. Been a little less active on there because I'm doing some other stuff on the side, but follow me there and you'll see when I go live. And if you like the games we play, hop in the comments. Let us know if there are any games you'd like us to play. Hop in there and let us know too, because if we can get our hands on them, we might just play them, or we might just keep clicking on them until something happens.
But most importantly, make sure you join us next time on Retro Game Connect.